Linoleum is usually laid at the very end of renovations, when there is no longer a risk of scratching or staining it. That's why I do it after finishing the walls and ceiling. To lay linoleum, you'll need a sharp knife, a ruler, or a long spatula. I laid out the linoleum in advance, yesterday in fact, so that it could settle properly and there wouldn't be any waves from it being rolled up. First of all, we lay it toward the side that is perfectly straight, with right angles. Make sure there is a gap of 5 millimeters between the wall and the linoleum, but no more than 2, because the baseboard is 2 centimeters wide and might not cover a larger gap. Then take a sharp knife and a putty knife and start trimming the edges of the linoleum so that there is a precise 5 millimeter gap between the wall and the linoleum. No more, no less. Carefully place the putty knife against the wall at a distance of about 5 millimeters from the point where the wall and the linoleum meet, and then begin trimming gently and precisely. Trim in small sections about 30 to 35 centimeters long, just the width of the putty knife. Cut carefully so you don't remove too much, because you won't be able to cover it up. You can see that along the entire length of the linoleum and the wall, there is a 5 millimeter gap. That's exactly what we need. If we don't leave this small gap and don't bring the linoleum into the room in advance, waves may appear. And if the room is cold and the linoleum is warm, a large gap will form when it contracts due to the temperature. Next, we'll start trimming the linoleum on the opposite side. As you can see, there's a lot of excess material here, so we first cut it about 5 millimeters larger to avoid cutting off too much. After that, we'll gradually trim everything with a spatula to make sure it's exactly 5 millimeters. I'll start cutting a little higher at the bend so I don't cut off too much. Cut carefully so as not to damage the wallpaper. Here there will be a cutout for the doorway. So we place the linoleum against the door and the doorway and start cutting. We lay it down with a small margin. And in this way we continue installing the suspension around the entire perimeter of the room. Now we trim the inner and outer corners. Now the linoleum is laid over the entire area of the room. Let's wait a little for it to even out, and then we'll start attaching the baseboard. I will be attaching plastic baseboards and using corner pieces, inner, outer, and end caps. I will fasten them to wooden and gypsum walls using wood screws and to tile using 5 centimeter long dowel nails. You should start attaching the baseboards from the corner. Take the inner plastic corner piece, put it onto the baseboard and start measuring the length. If everything is fine, you can screw it in. Remove the strip, and underneath it is the spot for fastening the screws. My baseboard already has holes for the screws, which makes the job easier. Then snap the decorative latch onto the baseboard. If the baseboard is too long, you need to trim it to the right length. For this, I use a regular metal hacksaw and a miter box for straighter cuts. Measure the length of the wall and subtract 2 centimeters from it. That's the width of the inside corner piece. You can use joint caps at the seams between baseboards, but I won't use them because there will be cabinets here and they won't be visible. So this is exactly how I managed to lay the linoleum, neatly and without any unnecessary wrinkles.